Hi everybody, my name is Anne-Marie and you are on Craft Time. And today we're going to have an art class where I'm going to teach you how to draw Olaf. Just get some pencils and paper and an eraser and let's get started.
Get it.
Olaf, as you see, he's dancing, so he's not straight. So you have to follow, there's like an arch going on here, as you see, that goes like this. And if I put a straight line this way, his body is turned, so we have a space here between them, okay? And even his head is tilted a little bit. So this, when you're analyzing your drawing or when you're looking at your drawing, you could see that it's not going to be just like Olaf like this with a ball, another ball. There's movement to it, all right? Oh, that was his face. Hang on a second. All right, so the first thing I want to do is I establish my proportions. So I'm going to put like a little circle here, like an oval here. And then I'm going to put like a bigger oval here, but I'm just going to make sure that like this is the size of an eye almost on each side. So this is the top of his head and is fairly long, like this. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, like, if I have an eye here and I have an eye there, I'm going to, it's about the same size as this, right? So let's put two cheeks here. All right. Now, if you notice, it goes just a little bit thinner here compared to here. So if I'm going to take my pencil and then I go, that's almost half. So I'm going to come down, bring his jaw down here and make it just a little bit smaller, like so. Oops, okay. Now, if I look at where his nose is, just like put very lightly his nose in place. There we go. His eyebrows are here and his hair is here. Always lightly. Now I'm going to just make a curve here for his mouth and a curve down below like this, but always check, see the size of this here? Check the size of this here, all right? And then you look, where is it starting? It's starting where it's curving up. So I'm going to make it here like this, and I'm going to leave a space down here. So far so good. We're just, this is the preliminary drawing, okay? We'll finish it better a little later. Now, if I'm looking at his, the end of his cheek here, and I'm going down, I'm at least, if I'm making a line down, I know that I'm going to have his body just about like this. That would be his body. It's a bit smaller here, like so. And what about his other one? So the other one, how do I figure it out? Well, let me draw a line here. And if I draw his hand, and his hand goes about where his nose does. Okay, so his nose is here. His hand goes to here. Well, then I would draw a straight line down here, and then that would be where his bottom of his body is. So how do I know where to stop here? Well, the corner of his mouth, I could go down like this. Corner of his mouth, down like this. Then I will be able to make his body like so. Now this is a bit smaller here. I'll fix that later. Now his foot, well, we know that it has to be standing here. So I'll put a foot here, and the other one is in the air here. What about his buttons? Well, his buttons go into a, you make an arch into like a swoop. So I'm going to put a button here, a button here, and a button there. All right, now his other hand, I'm going to go across like this. It's about the same thing. I'm going to put his hand like so, his arm, not his hand, sorry. All right, now that I've got that established, from the bottom of his eye to here is about the same size as from the bottom of his nose to the top of his forehead is almost the size of this. So let's see. That's quite a bit bigger. Another little thing here, and a branch here, and a branch there. All right, now that I've established my, oh, I'm missing one thing, his tooth. All right, now that I've established that, is I'm going to draw his nose first because his nose is in front of his eyes. So I'm going to draw his nose. So now I'm going to carefully go over the lines I did, like this. And now for the nose wrinkles, I'm just going to make little rounded, just as if you're almost doing like a circle. It's part of a circle. Everything is pretty much round on here. Then I'm going to do his eyes. So this eye, his right eye, is bigger and in front of the other eye. And this one is glued to the other one, but it's a little bit smaller. There we go. Now, his the black of his eye, his pupil, is just a circle and another circle. And you see he leaves a little dot of white. Well, that's the light that's reflecting in his eye. So I'll color in the black pupil. There we go. Now his eyebrow, you're starting to be like almost a circle. It's just like an arch, like so. And then this one, you can't really see the whole thing if you see. All right? So then I'm going to go the top of his head, and then I'm going to go down, hang on a second, that's too close. I'm going to go down like this. So let me color in his eyebrow. Oh, and his eyebrows, see, what I notice now is that his eyebrow's much closer. So I'm going to go much closer here, and then I'm going to make it much closer here. Well, that looks a lot better. All right. And if you notice here, it's a bit more square at the top. For his cheeks, I'm just going to go make a curve here for his cheek and another curve here for his cheek. There we go. And now I'm going to just make a better line of the top of his mouth, like this. And he has like, that's the corner of his mouth, like so. And his tooth has quite the tooth there. But it's not really a square, it's a square with a rounded corners. Then I'm going to just bring in my mouth and then bring it all the way here. If I put some darkness in here, there we go. Now I'm just going to follow the same thing as here. It's going narrower here, and then the same thing here, and his jaw is square. So far so good. I think his eyes are just a little, so you can modify that, you see? Like I could just make it just a little bit bigger, and this one just a little bit bigger, and make it a little bit darker, like so. Okay, now let's do his body. Remember I was saying that I found this was a little bit big compared to here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. Like so. And then put the piece of coal sort of a circle here, and he has a shadow. So that means this is much darker underneath than it is on top. Okay, so how does that look? So far so good. Okay, so that means look at where the ball starts. It starts half of where that one is. So then that means I would have to go around here and then go down here. But see, I find that my shape is not exactly the same. So I'm going to make it a little bit less high this way. All right, so then I'm going like that. So I'm going to continue with my little pieces of coal and my other little piece of coal. So, but now I'm going to lift this one up just a little bit because I've shrunk the size of this, right? Now his foot is just like another foot like this, but this is a bit big, so you can just like bring it down. We can erase that later. And same thing with this, go down like that. So I'm going to put shadow here and then light here, darker underneath, lighter here. All right, for his arm, what I do is I'm going to make one line to where I want it to go. All right, then I'm going to put his second finger, his thumb, so I'm just putting lines here, and then another finger here, and he has like a little thing jutting here. I'm not sure. I'm going to put a little ball here, and then I'm going to put another ball here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make another line next to it on both sides, just to thicken the stick. And I'm going to make his thumb and his finger. His third finger seems shorter, and this one too. And then I'm going to make that little bump here, and I'm going to make his little elbow sticking out there. And when I draw it in, or when I color it in, look at that. Okay, now his other arm. I'm going to have to move this. Hang on a second. So his other arm is the same thing. So once again, I'm going to make one stick with one line. And he has a finger here, a finger here, a finger there, and a thumb. So I'm going to put a little ball here, like an oval ball here. And this one, his stick is not exactly the same, as you see. So it's going to be a bit bigger here. So I'm going to draw my first line, my second line, but I'm going to make here a little bit bigger here. And here he has a little pointy here on his elbow. I'm going to color it in. It helps me see things so much better when I color things in like that. I'm continuing on. My little thumb, my little finger, my other finger, and his little pinky. There we are. Now, for his hair, so he has one little stick like that, divides into two. So it's like 1, 2, and then he has one thing here, and then he has another one here, and then a small one like that. All right, so I'm going to start with the small one, like that. I'm coloring it in. I'll do the other one like this. Oh, I think I need to make it a little bit bigger. I'll color this one. Make a little knob at the top. And then lastly, the biggest one. There we go. And this one separates into two, like so. There we go. So, that's our bonhomme. Now, about those little lines, you could always erase them with your finger or with an eraser. But what I like to do is create more shadow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put shadow underneath his jaw, like this, and then rub it with your finger, and I'm going to put some shadow here, like so, and then I'm going to put some shadow underneath his big belly, like so, and I'm going to use my eraser go. All right, so I'm going to put some shadow underneath his foot, here, like so, and here, like so, and underneath his nose, of course, because that sticks out. There you go. And you could also put a little bit of redness in his cheeks, like so. I'll rub it up. Here we are. And of course, below this snowball, there's a little bit of snow also. There we go. And just erase your lines, make it as perfect as you want. There we go. Can even make him little lines of highlights of light on his cheeks. There we go. And that's how we draw Olaf. Let me know if you like this. Let me know what you would like to draw next.
Get it.